With one launch after another, North Korea is stepping up its missile tests and testing America's ability to defend against a growing threat. Our Brian Todd has been looking into all of this for us. Brian, what are you learning?
Well, tonight, U.S. and Japanese officials are very concerned about this latest missile test. This makes at least 3 missile tests in 3 weeks for Kim Jong-un's regime. 12 missiles fired just this year. And with the U.S. about to test a missile interceptor tomorrow, there's now enormous pressure on the U.S. military to keep pace with this threat. Kim Jong-un pushes aggressively ahead in his effort to threaten his enemies with nuclear-tipped missiles. North Korea has just launched its 3rd missile test in 3 weeks. A short-range ballistic missile was fired from an area near Wonsan. It traveled approximately 248 miles, splashing down within Japan's exclusive economic zone, an area where commercial ships are known to operate. One analyst believes the test was designed to simulate a strike on an American base.
It was apparently a preparation for an attack on Iwakuni, which is a U.S. Marine base in southwest Honshu Island of Japan. This is becoming a routine accelerated launch schedule.
Kim is testing missiles at a breathtaking pace. 12 missiles fired in 9 tests so far this year. Tonight, experts warn the test of a short-range missile like the one Kim just launched, while seemingly less menacing than some of his other weapons, allows the regime to tweak its missile technology and get closer to perfecting a long-range intercontinental ballistic missile which could someday carry a nuclear warhead to the U.S. mainland. U.S. officials also concerned tonight about North Korea's development of a new arsenal of missiles, which use solid fuel rather than liquid fuel.
The solid are capable of being fired much more quickly. They don't necessarily have to be fueled or have sort of support apparatus. There's no launch pad or anything like that. And so they can be put on trucks, made mobile, and then therefore fired in principle from anywhere.
This puts more pressure on the U.S. to upgrade its ability to shoot down North Korean missiles, the Pentagon preparing for an interceptor test on Tuesday. President Trump today tweeting about the North Korean threat, quote, "North Korea has shown great disrespect for their neighbor, China, by shooting off yet another ballistic missile. But China is trying hard." Japan's prime minister, furious with a North Korean missile landing so close to his shores, vows to respond.
In order to deter North Korea, we will take concrete action together with the United States.
What options for so-called concrete action do Japan and the U.S. have here?
Cyber or missile action. The missile action could shoot down a missile test from North Korea should another occur. The cyber action or the launching of aircraft to harass and to inspect North Korean bases could also put the North Koreans on alert.
Current and former U.S. military officials have said the U.S. does have a program to disrupt North Korean missiles with cyber attacks, a program that the New York Times reported President Obama accelerated 3 years ago. Now, it's unclear which, if any, North Korean missile launches may have been disrupted by hacking, but Kim Jong-un has reportedly ordered investigations into possible sabotage of his missiles, looking for spies inside his regime. Wolf?
What's the latest assessment you're getting, Brian, of how close North Korea is to having an ICBM capable of hitting the U.S. mainland with a nuclear warhead?
Well, the latest estimate, Wolf, that we have from experts is they are roughly 3 to 5 years away from having that capability. They have not yet perfected a re-entry vehicle that would enable that missile to re-enter the atmosphere from space without it breaking up. But a test they did a couple of weeks ago gave them critical information on developing that kind of re-entry vehicle. That missile they launched 2 weeks ago reached an altitude of about 1,300 miles.
Yep, it was pretty impressive. Brian Todd, thanks very much. Coming up, new tonight, North Korea's Kim Jong-un pressing President Trump's buttons again by launching yet another provocative and dangerous missile test. This, as Mr. Trump's defense secretary warns, a full-scale war with North Korea would be catastrophic. Let's bring in our Pentagon correspondent, Barbara Starr. Barbara, update our viewers on the latest.
Well, Wolf, tonight U.S. officials are telling me it may be time to stop calling these missile tests and call them what they are. North Korea firing off missiles in hopes of someday soon being able to attack the United States. North Korea fired its third ballistic missile in a little over 2 weeks. This time it traveled about 250 miles, splashing down off the coast of Japan, near where ships and aircraft operate. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe called for concrete action.
We can never tolerate that North Korea continued provocation, ignoring the repeated warning by the international community.
North Korea is an increasingly grave national security threat to the United States because of its growing missile and nuclear capabilities, combined with the aggressive approach of its leader, Kim Jong-un.
Every launch, 9 so far this year, U.S. officials say is helping North Korea get closer to its ultimate goal.
Kim is attempting to prove that he has the capability to strike the U.S. mainland with a nuclear weapon.
Tuesday, the Pentagon is scheduled to test fire a system like this, the first upgraded version of its interceptor missile, to demonstrate if it can shoot down an incoming ballistic missile. The program so far has had mixed success. For now, the Trump administration is hoping China can convince Kim Jong-un to back off. President Trump tweeting, North Korea has shown great disrespect for their neighbor China by shooting off yet another ballistic missile, but China is trying hard. If it comes to war, Defense Secretary James Mattis warns it would be the worst fighting in most people's lifetimes.
The North Korean regime has hundreds of artillery cannons and rocket launchers within range of one of the most densely populated cities on Earth, which is the capital of South Korea. It would be a catastrophic war if this turns into combat.
A key question for China, would Trump order military action?
Well, it's a fascinating question, and I think I know a number of people who work closely with Trump, and I know certainly people who worked with Xi, and I don't think any of them know the answer. I'm not sure Trump knows the answer.
And one of the big questions tonight, what if North Korea were simply to declare it had a missile that could attack the U.S.? Would the U.S. even know if that claim is true or not? Wolf?
That's a good point. Barbara Starr reporting for us from the Pentagon. Thank you.